One thing artists do to create the illusion of texture is sometimes to splatter paint. It's a little hard to control sometimes. You can do a variety of different ways to do it, and I would suggest you always practice with whatever tools you're going to use a little bit before you actually do it on a piece. Here you see in this book, they've taken a toothbrush and they're using it to splatter out a blended edge, and here they're just making a texture. Splattering can be done with a lot of different tools, but the biggest trick is to be sure that it's very, very fluid, because you're not going to be able to throw that paint down off that brush if it's not very, 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 very thin. So I'm going to start off by watering down this, and I have it on a paintbrush, and I have a paintbrush full of paint, and I can just take my thumb and splatter the surface. It's a little hard to control where it's going. That toothbrush is working very, very well. You can use a toothbrush. You can take a regular brush. Let's get a different color going here. You can take a regular brush and do the same thing and flick. It needs to be a stiff brush, so you can kind of flick and put that splatter down. It needs to be very, very thin paint. Kind of a cool thing you can do is block an area. It's kind of hard to control where it's going, but if there's a spot that you would like to have specifically splattered for some reason, say I want something in that area in a different color, very, very thin paint again. Stiff brush, and I've blocked this out, masked out an area, so I can then splatter over top of an area. And if I lift these up, I will have protected some of the other areas from getting that splatter on it. It's a little challenging to control exactly where it's going to land. It's not necessarily a very tight, controlled application. Gives you an interesting texture in the background of things. It's a beautiful little technique to add to things. Kind of like the idea if you mask out a spot so you can kind of be in control of where it's going, and then you throw these pieces of paper away. So that is splatter.